So for our video today, we're talking about our at-home setups, which we interact with quite a bit. So whether you're an avid gamer who plays games for hours on end, or you're working from home at your home computer setup, or you're editing videos like me, which I'm doing right now actually, I'm editing this video, that would be a great thing to take in consideration what things you're interacting with, whether it's your chair, your desk, your monitor, your computer, what things that will make a huge difference for you at your home living space that will impact your health overall.
We're also going to add timestamps and the names of the products that are in the video in the description box down below. So feel free to check that out for more information. Now let's get to the video.
All right, so first thing in our setup we want to talk about is our desk setups. And overall, I really like mine. It doesn't come without its drawbacks, but the main thing I like about it is the overall surface area of what it can hold on top of the desk. It has enough space to hold 2 monitors and many other things that can kind of lead to clutter sometimes, but the space gives you a lot of flexibility and opportunity to put whatever setup you want on the desk itself. The main drawback, like I was saying before, is that it doesn't have any adjustability features. You'll see in Andrew's desk later, it has tons of different features you can use. This one is fixed into place, so it's going to cause you to adjust in other ways if you want a similar desk to this one. Mainly, your chair is going to have some adjustability features. So that's overall a big con, and the price was a little expensive at the time, but you can probably get it for pretty cheap now, considering I got this a long time ago. But it's been great, good durability and everything like that.
All right, so going into my desk. So this desk is actually probably one of my favorite pieces of my workstation. The surface area is perfect actually for my living space. So I live in a 1-bedroom apartment, and every space counts. And we were in the market for a sit-stand desk. Really like the ability to adjust the height to get that personalized setup in terms of when you're sitting. It's an added bonus that you're able to increase the height so that you can stand while you work. But to be honest, I don't use that feature very much. It's more just to get that perfect alignment when you're sitting, being able to reach out seamlessly for your keyboard and mouse, just making sure that the posture is set up for success. So surface area is good for what I need it. You can go for larger models, but this specific model is good for that. Gets the job done. A con would be also maybe the surface area. So I have quite a large monitor. So you might have to choose between 1 large monitor or 2 smaller monitors. So that is a potential con for the surface area here. Another potential con for my desk is the price point. It is quite expensive. Not the most expensive out there, but if you're going to go for a sit stand, it is going to be a lot more money than a static or fixed desk. But you get what you pay for. It's extremely versatile, especially if you're sharing the desk with other individuals, maybe a roommate, a partner, or family member. Then they're able to go ahead and use those adjustments to select a height that works best for them. So this one costed me, I believe, around $550, $600. So expect a price point around there for a really good quality sit-stand desk.
So next up in my setup is my absolute favorite thing about it, which is my chair. And you can probably see why, because in my opinion, it looks beautiful. It's got a nice little Batman logo on the back, but that's not why I like it. I actually like it because I've had a lot of back issues for the past few years, and this really helped with it. Ever since working from home started with quarantine and everything, I was actually using kind of a lower grade model of chair, and when I upgraded to this one felt miles better. It has adjustable features as you're witnessing right now, but with the armrests, the height, the lumbar support, you can crank the lumbar support to make it push out further to give you extra support wherever you need it, which is amazing. It stays cool for long periods of time. So if you're doing long sessions of work at your computer and you don't have AC, this is amazing for it. It was even customized to the height and weight of myself as well, and it has really great materials that it uses. The main cons is that I wish it had the option to go lower than it currently does, but that's just mainly because of my desk. It doesn't go any higher at all, and the price point is pretty high. I paid over $600 for this chair, but you definitely get what you pay for when you're working with these higher quality models of chairs.
All right, we're gonna go into my chair now. So we're just gonna talk about the overall look right now. I love the minimal look of my chair. It can really fit with any workspace. I went with a kind of leather look because I like that sleek leather look of a chair. But I believe you can get other looks at IKEA. So this was actually not too expensive. It's one of the more affordable chairs. I would probably put it in the mid tier of expensive chairs, and it's got a lot of really good adjustable features. We're gonna just go from bottom to top here. So it has the wheels and a nice little like roller system, and it's not too light though, so that if you were to kind of just sit on your chair, it wouldn't end up kind of flying behind you. So it's got a nice good stability to it, and it's got a good weight as well. The next thing is the height. So you are able to adjust the height. And another really great feature is the seat pan. So you are able to push your chair forward, push the seat pan forward and also bring it back, which is great to get that good thigh or leg support. Another one is being able to tilt the backrest back and then also having it fixed upright, which is great to really support your spine and your lower back. The next thing would be the lumbar support. It has additional lumbar support and you can adjust it as well, which is really nice, as well as the pillow, the neck pillow or head pillow here. You can also adjust the height of it as well. So this is actually a really great chair for one person, or even if you're sharing it like I am. I share my desk space with my partner. So, it's great to be able to have these adjustable features so that you can really get a comfortable fit when you're sitting at your desk. A couple cons here though are the armrests. They are fixed. Perhaps you could, with all IKEA things, you could probably uninstall it and install some adjustable armrests, but the ones that I'm using here are the ones that came with it and they are fixed. I'm not a big arm support or armrest person, so it's not a huge deal breaker for me, but that is something to keep in mind. And the chair pad could be longer. So for someone, I'm about 5'11", and if someone taller were to sit in this chair, their legs might be kind of hanging off of the chair pad a little bit. So that's just one thing to keep in mind.
All right, now let's start talking about my mouse. This is a mouse I've actually had for quite a long time. It's actually carried me through school, which is amazing that it's lasted that long. So definitely one of its pros is that it's so durable. I've had it for over 7 years. It's fantastic in terms of that durability department. It's showing maybe a little bit of wear and tear, but I don't know what mouse wouldn't after that long a period of time. It has really high DPI, so it's super accurate when clicking on stuff, and I can use it for games and just casual browsing as well. And it's really nice to look at with the LEDs. It has additional thumb buttons on the side, so if you are playing games, you can have a few more different input options. But even like I said, if you're just using it for casual use, the thumb buttons can be adjusted for like forward and back or redo or undo if you're editing something as well, which is pretty handy, more than I thought it would be originally when I had gotten it. The things I don't like as much about it are that it's wired, so the cable can get in the way a few times. It routinely snags the end of my keyboard, so that can be a bit of a frustration, especially in certain setups. For everyone, that might not be a con though. And the other thing is that it does have a bit of a higher price point. It could be a bit pricier for people. It's a bit of an older model, so the newer models will be a bit pricier of the same mouse, and it could be bigger for larger hands. Like, I do have fairly large hands, so with the way that I have to grip it, I always have to grip it a little bit further back, which is not typically the ideal way that you want to hold a mouse.
All right, so going into my mouse, honestly, I'll start with the cons first. I don't have any, so we'll just go into pros right away. It is a ergonomically shaped mouse, and this is probably one of my favorite features about it. All my life, I was using flat mouses, just your regular typical mouse, but this one's kind of interesting in the way that it's shaped. It actually gets you to turn your hand a little bit so that your wrist is more likely to stay straight. It's almost kind of like you're sort of grabbing onto something, like almost like kind of a cup in a sense, than having your palm completely down. So it just feels really comfortable. It glides very easily. It's Bluetooth, which is great. And it's also rechargeable. So there's no wires there. There's no batteries. I got it on Amazon and it is quite cheap. It's not the cheapest mouse that you can get, but also you need to keep in mind that you are getting what you pay for. So put a little extra cash into something that you're going to be utilizing every single day, like your workstation, and your body will thank you for it. It also has some side buttons as well there for the forwards and backwards, and also your little rolling wheel at the top, and it works just as well as any other mouses that I've had in the past, just a lot more comfortable for my wrist.
So one of my favorite things about my setup is the keyboard. In terms of the looks, it really kind of pops next to everything else, which I like. That's kind of what pulled me into getting this keyboard in the first place. But the other thing about it is that it has mechanical keys, so it has raised buttons, and that can be a bit of a pro or a con for some people. I really like it because it allows me to click on everything a little bit more accurately, and the way that the keys are positioned just offer better support for my hands. It has a number pad on the side, which I know not a lot of other keyboards do have, so that's a huge bonus for doing a variety of tasks. And it does have customizable features on it as well. There's different ways you can customize the LED lights on it. So I know that's not really for everyone, but if you want to have a bit of a nice fancier looking keyboard, there is that option as well. The other con that I could say about it is that it is a wired keyboard, which doesn't really offer the versatility that some other Bluetooth keyboards will offer. And it is a bit pricier as well. So if you're looking to pay for a bit of a cheaper keyboard, this might not be the option for you.
All right, so going into my keyboard here. So as you can see, it's actually quite small, and that's part of the reason why I decided to go with it. I wanted something minimal, something light. There's no wires here, it's Bluetooth, and you're probably already getting the theme here when it comes to my workstation. A lot of the items that I have that are part of my workstation are Bluetooth. And also one of the great features about this as well is that you can pair it with multiple devices. And I do share this workstation with my partner, so it makes it really easy for us to just toggle between my laptop and her laptop. So that's actually one of the biggest pros here for this keyboard. Also, you might have noticed here that there's no number pad. So that could be a con for someone that might be in accounting or that uses the number pad a lot. We don't use it too much, so it's not too much of a con for us. So it really kind of depends here. Also, it is rechargeable, which is great. So no batteries required. However, if it does die, you do want to have a USB cord close by to charge it up quickly, or even perhaps a backup if it does die and you really do need to use the keyboard. As far as pros, it also has the backlight feature that lights up the keys in case you're in a darker room and you want to be able to still see your keyboard. So that's a great pro. The price point on this, it's not the most expensive keyboard that you can get. So it really does depend on what you're going to be using it for. It is great for travel because it is so compact and light. So if you're someone that travels for work or just in general, it's a great one to have. And also one more con, its size. So it's quite compact, similar to a laptop keyboard. So it could have the ability to pull your shoulders in and sort of round your posture. So that is another consideration as well.
Well, that wraps up our first video. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you found this video to be helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. Feel free to comment below with any questions you have, or to share what works for you in your at-home setup. We'll be releasing part 2 of this series soon, so be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified on our future videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.